This is a screencast on how to describe the features of 3D objects using the language of geometry. Now, before we start, we need to understand what a 3D object shape is. And so these are shapes like cubes, rectangular prisms, any shape where it becomes 3D. A 2D shape, for example, is only a square, so it's like a flat shape. So we're going to be focusing on these 3D shapes, and there's many different types. And we're going to be focusing on the language of geometry. Now what that means is we're going to be focusing on three main aspects: vertices, edges, and faces. These are important aspects of 3D shapes. So we're going to use this language and we're going to teach you what they mean so that you can use those terms to describe a three-dimensional shape. Let's take a look at the first shape. The first one we're going to start with of the terms is what is a face. Now face are commonly referred to as sides, not like sides in a shape, but if I was to say how many sides does a cube have, many of you would be able to quickly tell me there's 6. So a face are the flat or the sides of a particular shape, and I've just outlined 2 there. So there's 6 of these. 1, 2, 3 for underneath, 4, 5 in the back side here, 5 and 6. There are 6 of them. Now if I look at the next one, where 2 faces meet together, that's actually what we call an edge. So this is an edge here, where 2 faces meet together. Another example was here. Okay, so we're looking for edge, where 2 faces meet together. Okay, so if we were to count these up, we would go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So there are 12 faces on this shape. So again, it's where 2 faces meet. A long edge. There's 12 of them on here. And the last one is vertices. And vertices are quite simple because you will often refer them as another name. Vertices is a technical name for corners. And as you can see on here, I'm circling the corners so that you can see them all on here. So you can very quickly count up that vertices, there are 8 of them. So let's go back over that again. Faces are the flat sides on a shape. The edges are where 2 faces meet together. And corners are where, vertices are where 2 edges meet. Let's take a look at another shape. This shape, or 3D shape in front of you, is what is called a square-based pyramid. Called a square-based pyramid because the base of it is a square shape. So, if we have a look at this carefully, we're now going to go through and find out how many vertices, edges, and faces. Let's do faces first. So if we look at the faces, you can see that there's 1 here, there's 1 on the bottom here, this one here, there's this one here, this one on the other side, so around the other side here, and then the one on that side. So if we were to count them up, it's 1, 2, 3, 4 faces. Okay, now let's look at edges. So remember, edges are where 2 faces meet. So here's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 edges. And for vertices, remember a vertex is a corner. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 vertices. Okay, now here's your task. Your task is this. You're going to rule up a column. You're going to rule up a table. You're going to have the first column is going to be called 3D shape. Then the next column is going to say faces, edges, and vertices. And I can't quite fit that in, so I'll just put dot dot dot. And you're going to make these nice straight lines across here like so. And so what you're going to do, if we were to do the cube, you're going to, or before we start, you're going to have a whole bunch of shapes to make. Nets that you're going to turn into shapes, fold them together, and then you're going to go through. So for instance, if the first one you're doing was cube, you would then count up how much each of those things have, so you know that there's 6 faces, and so on and so on, and you'd add them in here. Then the next one, say it was pyramid, be the same thing again. And you're going to go through and do each one of them. Go through and count up how many faces and edges, but you need to make them first so you can count them up properly. It does help you to make them first so that you can see what they look like. When you finish this, there will be a QR code at the bottom of the screen which will contain the answers to your sheet. Good luck.